Mazda's MX-5 is like a sports car salmon, swimming upstream against a tide of largely unsporting, well-credentialed, but Me Too cars. It's like a shining beacon of simplicity and lightness in a world seemingly overrun by 7-seat SUVs and dual-cab utes. But over time, Mazda's made some pragmatic concessions to increase the car's appeal. For example, in the last 2 of 4 generations, a retractable hardtop. This is the MX-5 RF, and those last 2 letters stand for retractable fastback. And it arrived in Australia about this time last year. But this isn't just any RF. Spicy special editions have regularly featured in the MX-5's close to 30-year run. And this is the latest, a limited release of 110 examples, boasting a range of performance-focused upgrades. For a start, it's based on the RF GT, which means there's a 2-litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine under here, matched with a 6-speed manual gearbox only. There's an aero-influenced body kit, with pieces selected from Mazda's existing optional sports pack. A large front spoiler, side skirts, and a rear spoiler-like trim piece. The standard 17-inch alloys are swapped out for BBS rims of the same diameter, and Brembo 4-piston front brake calipers sit on rotors with extra cooling fins and feature low steel brake pads for extra fade-resistant track day compatibility. The trick calipers shave 2 kilos off the car's unsprung weight. Under the bonnet, there's a front strut cross-brace bar. Bilstein gas shock absorbers are slotted into the double wishbone front and multi-link rear suspension setup. And Recaro, Alcantara and leather-trimmed sports seats dial up the focus on the inside. You'll even score a custom Seiko watch. There are 5 colours to choose from. This one's machine grey metallic, and you can have the retractable roof panel in any colour you like, so long as it's black. Which all adds up to a drive-away price just under $56,000. One hell of a number when you consider a little over 33 grand before on-road costs will get you behind the wheel of a 1.5-litre MX-5 Roadster, the car many, myself included, consider to be the sweetest MX-5 of all. So what does all this bracing and braking and gas shocking do to the RF drive experience? Let's find out. The roof can be lowered or raised at speeds up to 10 kilometres an hour, and the whole thing takes 13 seconds from go to whoa, which is agreeably quick. And sure, the MX-5 purists are going to want the Roadster for the full wind in the hair experience. But the RF is still a blast to drive with the top down. The MX-5 formula remains unchanged. You've got a free-spinning, naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine up there, driving the rear wheels back there. It's a reminder that you don't need ultra-high tech or big power to have some fun behind the wheel. This MX-5 feels agile and light on its feet, and shifting the manual 6-speed gearbox is half the fun. In fact, this gearbox retains the same 40mm shift throw that was in the original MX-5, and it's been carried through every generation since. And it's just a buzz to use. Despite close to 50 extra kilos for the hardtop, the RF GT is still a relative lightweight at less than 1100 kilograms. Peak torque arrives high in the rev range, but acceleration, while not neck snapping, is still handy lower down, and really gets into its stride by the time peak power comes on stream, close to the rev ceiling. The Bilstein dampers and extra bracing at the front have really tightened the car up. The grippy Bridgestone Potenza rubber is a perfect match for the taut chassis, while the standard limited slip differential ensures drive is going to the rear wheel that can use it most. Despite the firmer Bilstein gas dampers, ride comfort is good. I mean, you sign on for a car like this and you've got to expect some feedback coming up through the suspension, but really it's pretty good. And the steering is fantastic, road feel is great, and the response is so linear and direct, turn-in's fantastic. And the body control, when you're pushing on through corners, it's just really buttoned down. It's great fun to drive. Brakes don't need to be massive for a car in this weight division, and the new rotors and Brembo calipers at the front are professional grade. There's an acrylic piece at the back of the cabin which helps minimise turbulence when you've got the windows up and the roof back. It works well. And the engine noise is fantastic. You've got this amplifying effect from a sound enhancer tube which runs from the intake side of the engine around the throttle body to the window cowl just on the edge of the cabin, and it enhances that grunty, growly note that the engine has. It works beautifully, it's really good. With the roof in place, there's a triple layer liner in the hardtop that helps keep things composed and quiet when you want them to be. And I'm 183 centimetres tall, and there's adequate headroom for sure. The other thing is these Recaro seats are actually a step ahead of the standard items, which tend to feel a bit slim in the backrest when you're loading up with a few G's in corners. There are a few niggles. This steering wheel still only adjusts for height rather than reach, which is surprising. I'd also like to see a digital speedo, which is in so many other Mazda models, but it's notable by its absence here. And also, there's just not a heap of storage space around the cabin. If you've got a drink bottle, yep, there's one here, but it's kind of around the side. There's a little glove box cubby and a box in here, but just not a lot. There are no pockets in the door, for example. It's lacking in terms of oddment space. The Mazda MX-5 RF LE dials up the performance character of a car that's already a pure pleasure to drive. Its extra spec and tech is welcome. We're struggling to make the extra dollars add up. But hey, that's just a number. There are only 110 of these, and they're sure to go to enthusiastic owners rapidly. Sayonara. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and go to carsguide.com.au, check out all our latest news and reviews.